Is that why you think you do it? For the money? It's the game. It's the adrenaline rush. What if it is?
The Good Liar is a film based, of course, on the novel of the same name by Nicholas Sell. Were you familiar with the book before you got involved with the project? Or?
I was. Greg Yolen, the producer of the movie, had read it and gave it to me. I read it on a plane and really enjoyed it and thought there's a movie there. So, yes, that's how the whole thing started.
So from there, how does the kind of project sort of...
Well, it turned out that we went to try to get the rights to the book, and they had just been optioned by New Line, who wound up making the movie. So we got together immediately, and then we went and asked Jeffrey Hatcher to write it. Jeffrey had written Mr. Holmes with us before, so it all came together pretty simply.
You've worked with Jeffrey before, obviously.
Yeah.
Was Nicholas involved in the process at all?
Well, once Jeff had a script, as we were starting to prep the movie, we sent it to Nicholas, and he came down to London, and we had dinner, and we talked through it, and he was very helpful. He had a few great things to point out, but basically, he was very, I got to hand it to him, because the movie is a free adaptation of the book. The book takes place in 4 different times, and we decided to put it all in one time, close to the present. And so he understood that involved a lot of dropping stuff and combining things, and he was very supportive.
Were you both familiar with the book before you got involved with the film?
I didn't know the book, no, and so I judged it, as you have to, on the screenplay, because there'd be no use saying, oh, that's a wonderful book, I'd love to be in the movie, because you never know. But safe hands here with Bill Condon in charge, because he won the Oscar for this when he adapted a book for the film, God's Monsters. So, yes.
Which you won an Oscar for as well, right?
No, I did not.
You were nominated?
Should have done, of course, but I didn't.
Oh.
Nominated, yes.
Nominated, yes.
And when it came to casting, you've worked with Ian McKellen a couple of times
Yes.
before. Is it a case of just picking up the little black book at this point, or...?
Well, Black Book suggests some kind of...
But when actors get to a certain sort of level, do they still go through the traditional audition process?
No, God, no. With Ian, it's the begging process. Please do this movie.
When he calls you up and says, I've got a film you might be interested in, how does the process go?
I said yes.
Easy yes, is it?
Easy.
Was it an easy sell?
Well, I agreed before I'd read it, of course.
Yes. There was a slight trepidation in the beginning just about playing an out-and-out baddie, even though he's a very complicated one. That's something he hadn't done for a while, and obviously he's so beloved, as Gandalf. So, but just for a moment maybe, and then he was fully on board.
And then, fortunately, then he said it was a thriller, and I said yes, and then I read it, I said yes, and then I heard that Helen was going to be in it, and shortly after that Russell was.
Helen, the same thing. We met. She had 1 or 2 thoughts about the script that were incredibly smart, and she said, "Yeah, let's do it."
What a cast! But then that's it. Actors want to work with Bill Condon. They've seen his movies, so you get strength all the way through. Right to Laurie Davidson, who's just been in my other movie at the moment, Cats. He plays Mr. Mistopheles, about to become a great feline star, I would think. And here he is in our movie.
Were there any other challenges involved in adapting a movie like this? Because there are a lot of twists and turns in the story. So much can be given away by a facial expression or a look between two characters.
I think you've got it. I think that was the big challenge. It was not letting the audience get ahead of you, but at the same time making sure that they had enough information and clues so that when twist would happen, you would understand what it was, And for example, there are people who feel they're ahead of you because they can't believe that Helen Mirren would be so gullible. But for us, that was always something that's why, it's part of what you get when you cast Helen Mirren. It's a clue already, from the first scene when that there's something else going on with this woman.
And am I right in saying this is the first time you and Helen Mirren have appeared on the screen together?
It is.
Yeah. Have you worked together before on the stage?
We worked on Broadway in a play by August Strindberg, and somehow avoided each other in films. We're so similar, you see. That's the problem.
And it's the first time they've both been on screen together, I believe.
It is,
So,
yeah. Yes.
Must have been quite an honour to have that.
Completely crazy. Yeah, you couldn't believe it, especially when you've got them, doing this, fight scene where one of them is going to get killed for, watching these two titans, down on the ground, rolling around.
Russell, was it a daunting prospect acting across?
No, it's incredibly exciting. I just couldn't wait to start. I think when we
Have we worked together before?
we did that Dior movie, do you remember?
Of course I do.
Yes, we did that.
Something rather special.
John Cameron Mitchell directed us in that little short for Dior with Marianne Cotillard
Yes.
years back. But no, we've been friends for many years, so it was like working with a mate. And then I think after we did the table read and we were all in the room and hearing it come alive, I couldn't wait to start. I think it's special, and it's a nice dynamic that our characters have, because it's like a bit of a cat and mouse situation.
Yeah.
Yes, and he's terribly good at acting. Because when he's horrible to me, which he is in the movie, it was really hurtful. I
I'm
thought,
sorry.
oh yes, not like
It wasn't
not
based
like
on
you,
truth.
Russell,
No.
to be like that to me. But
Never.
that's how real it is. That's very unnerving. He's a good liar.
That's what it is.
And just a blink, your life's changed forever.
You know, it's very peculiar doing things you'd never imagined. Secrets between you, God, the devil.